biggest premiere, work on show on the big screen, and not 1 second of it. But we've more than made up for it today. The anticipation has been more than worth the wait.
And the audience reaction's been wonderful.
Yeah, it has.
And congratulations. So just can you just tell us what your role in the special issue was?
So, my job was to, well, initially I'd made a list of 20 special effects based on the original broadcast version. I brought this to Pete.
And I said, can we have an extra 40?
I didn't quite realise the extent of your vision.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about this is putting so much material back in. You know, the pacing of the thing changed. It needed new establishing shots, and there were just lots of opportunities to kind of open the world up. And I thought, if we're going to do it, let's kind of throw everything at it. So poor Chris would have to contend with emails from me at midnight every couple of days going, I found another 5 shots that are really awesome.
I'm sure the new government's going to do something about midnight email.
Yeah.
That's going to be a never do in the future.
Yes.
So that's your last one where you're.
I know. No more.
I mean, it feels like properly ambitious in terms of all that kind of Blade Runner silence and stuff, and right through to the end we keep on smiling. I mean, it's been so well thought out, and I don't imagine you have a huge amount of time or budget to do these things.
Well, no budget, absolutely. But I did spend a lot of time because, you know, I knew this season was coming up for a long time, and I've always had plans to do this for kind of years, and I know the story really well. So, yeah, right down to that last shot, I knew I wanted to kind of redo that last shot for years, because back in the day they just didn't have the technology to do that, to give it a slightly kind of grand ending. So, the death of the Candyman is another brilliant sequence that we're able to do. You know, we're just polishing what's there. Like, I think it's just a fantastic story, and you know, if Chris is happy with it and Graham would have been happy with it, then I would have been.
You had material that wasn't in the original, didn't you? That
Yes,
survived, and have you used all of it now, or as much as you can? You think?
Yeah, so we had what are called 71 edits, which are early edits that the director does before has to be cut down for time, and they were quite long. But we also had, for this story, we had the studio tapes, so we had pretty much almost everything that I could kind of go back to and pick shots from. Lots of the new Fifi stuff in there is from those studio tapes, and kind of extend where we could. There's one scene that didn't go back in just because it just didn't work on the day, and I can see why they cut it, and we couldn't make it work now. So one tiny scene which is in the deleted scenes package on the disc anyway.
So you have brought, in the straight tradition of show and tell, down the end, Chris, you have brought something to show us. What thing have you brought for us?
So this is the shuttlecraft from the ending there. It's based pretty closely on the original one that was used back in the day. Mike Tucker had sent me a photo of it, and it was basically a bunch of Kenner Star Wars toys stuck together. So I took the sort of outline of the design. It's like 2 Y-wings, you can see by the engines. They put a nose on it and some TIE fighter bits. And it was in like a dark grey. So yeah, I kind of made it a much more cheery orange and blue, and yeah. And it was, we ended up doing a lot of miniatures across the whole season, but this was the first one we finished and the first one we shot, which was quite nice.
So as well as making them, you're shooting them as well, are you?
Yes. So this is my friend Ran Wade does our 3D printing, and then I have a team, Ben Page, Andrew Clements, Connor Flanagan, who also provided some rather wonderful propaganda posters that we peppered the sets with.
And are they here?
Connor is just
Connor
there.
is here. Well done, Connor.
It was something that we kind of felt that was missing, was just a sort of an element of a bit of propaganda, but also seeing the skyline. Because Pete, you and I, you wanted like a Soho kind of, like a lot of lighting and.
Yeah, just to kind of brighten it up and open up the world. You know, the set design is great with what they had, but it didn't quite work on transmission because they couldn't quite, you know, they didn't have the money to spend it. It's a lot of studio flats basically. So we just kind of did what we could do to open it up a bit.
Very shortly we're going to bring on an expert panel who are going to be assessing your work. Across the scorecards.
I was just going to ask, what's happening to the miniatures?
eBay.
I'm going to move house at some point, so in a loft somewhere.
So make Chris an offer as the.
Yeah.
Is it true that on your return journey, a few of the lovely models didn't travel as well as you hoped?
Oh,
they
really?
would?
Yeah, sadly, the combined might of the Cybermen and the Daleks was nothing against EasyJet's baggage claim. they have been fixed. They're up on my shelf, and they will be loved.
Not
So,
here.
Yeah.
But not today, not here. But they were here last time. So actually, people who missed out last time did get a chance to see the models that they obviously haven't seen, and this time you get to see the models.
Yeah, we got to. So we built. What we had here last time was the cyber warship from the end of Silver Nemesis. We had this baby. We had the Dalek shuttle from Remembrance. We had a modified character options TARDIS because at the last minute we decided to try and reshoot the.
Sorry.
It's okay. The missing sequence from Greatest Show in the Galaxy. So we had that there as well, and.
They look great, and that's the thing. This is kind of just a taste of what's on the season 25 set, because every story gets a special edition. This is probably the kind of grandest of them all, because there's the most that's gone back in. But Silver Nemesis has loads of new stuff in it, some special surprises as well. Remembrance is great, and yeah, great show. It has lots of new model work in it as well. So he worked wonders on the whole thing.
Well, congratulations to you both. It's really an incredible thing, well worth waiting. Thank you to Pete and to Chris. Thank you so much.